Hello again, it's me, the guy with the YouTube channel, and today we are finishing up our G-Fest 22 reviews, as we are now down to the final 3 figures I bought. So anyways, starting with today's review, we are reviewing the Y-msf glow-in-the-dark minya. Not really sure if you can quite see him there. Bring him a little closer. Okay, this is gonna do exactly what it did with the Orga review, because this is, oh, there we go. Don't have any packaging for this guy, so straight on to detail. Please focus. Okay, this might not be the easiest thing to focus in on, just because it's one color, but believe me, this detail is really good. I would say even tops some of the Bandai figures. I know some Y-msf haters might say that no, Bandai is so much better, and the Bandai minya, which looks like a piece of shit, is better than this, but, well, there's Y-msf haters for you. But you can see, it's pretty good detail, but just not a whole lot to talk about, because it's Minya. He's a fairly simple kaiju. Like, it's just one big wrinkly blob. And you can see his legs, feet, made in Japan, so suck it, Y-msf haters. Yeah, anyways, yeah. Tail, nicely detailed, I will say. Bottom is flat to help him stand. Got his little baby spines. Mouth is pretty nice. I don't really know if you can see, but you can see his tongue back in there. And you can see his little teeth. I think there should be teeth on the upper part of his mouth. Head. Ooh, you can kind of see it glowing there a little bit, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, the eyes. They don't have a whole... The pupils aren't sculpted in or anything. They're just kind of there. But yeah, you can see just some pretty nice detailing at the head sculpt and everything. Just not really a lot to say about it. And for the glow feature, I'm not too sure how well this is going to show up. He hasn't been in the light that long, but believe me, when you if you hold him into the light for about a minute and get him glowing, yeah, see, he's not really, I don't think this camera will pick it up, but here, let me try cutting the lights. You can't really see him glowing, but, well, believe me, this figure, I can't really show him glowing, but it glows really well. You can kind of get the impression that it's glowing there, but at night this guy will really glow well, especially if you leave him in the light for like an hour. Then this thing will just, yeah, it looks so cool when glowing. It kind of made me stop myself from painting. So yeah, that's it for the extremely short segment of oh, forgot to mention the hands. They also have pretty nicely done detail in there. You can see all his palm, his finger, and everything. So detail is pretty good, but just not a whole lot to say because it's Minya. He's a fairly simple kaiju, and for articulation, the arms can rotate 360, just like that. The legs can. You would think maybe they could, but they can't. The tail can rotate 360. It's a little loose on mine, as you can see there. And the head can also kind of wiggle a little bit. If you move it too much, it pops off. Some say it's a glue seal. Y-msf figures don't tend to do glue seals, so yeah, that's it for articulation. This review is going pretty quick. And for sizing, here's my only Showa Godzilla other than 1954. Godzilla 1975. Let me pull back a little bit. There you go, now you can see him. I would say this is actually a pretty good sizing. Minya may need to be a little bit bigger, or Manila, depending on what you want to say, but yeah, I would say these two look pretty good, even though this Godzilla was never with Minya. I don't have any of the ones that were. Next, for a more Destroy All Monsters type sizing, Showa Rodan, even though this is 1956 Rodan. These two weren't on screen together in Destroy All Monsters, or weren't close enough to get an idea of how big they were, but I would say this is inaccurate. Rodan does this a lot. He falls forward. At least my figure does anyway. So this isn't a very accurate sizing, but, you know, if you just want to get all the 6-inch figures for Destroy All Monsters, it makes a good sizing. And Mothra Larva, again, for a more Destroy All Monsters type sizing. These two weren't on screen for long enough to tell how big they were, and this is the wrong Mothra, because the eyes are blue, not red. Next, here is, again, for kind of more Destroy All Monsters, like, even though this isn't the right one, Baragon. This isn't the Showa Baragon, but it's still, yeah, I think these two might actually need to be the same size, or Baragon should actually be smaller, because 30 meters and however big he is. But, you know, yeah, I really don't know why I pulled that out. Next, here he is with SH Monster Arts Baby Godzilla, Little Godzilla. And, yeah, as you can see here, Minya is actually slightly shorter than Little Godzilla. So, there you go, you got a little sizing there. You know, people complain about this design, but honestly, when you compare it to Minya, this thing looks like a work of art. You know, I'm not saying, well, I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just making this shit up as I go along. Anyways, next, here is just the standard figures you see, although there are two figures I will no longer be pulling out for reviews, just for size reasons, and that is the repainted Bandai Creation Final Wars Rodan, and the SH Ultra Hero series Ultraman power, just because, like, I pull out the Ultraman for Ultraman reviews, but you won't be seeing the repainted Bandai Creation Final Wars Rodan in any more reviews, so there's that for you. So here's just some of the other standard figures you see. NECA 6-inch Godzilla 2014. Yeah, this is a horrible sizing. Minya should probably be like up to Godzilla's knee, so it should be like that big. I don't know. I think that would be how it should be. And next, SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1995 Rebirth version, or just Godzilla if you're going by the box. And yeah, you know, this is again inaccurate. I mean, you should probably be up to like there, but it's just how it is. And finally, a standard NECA Pacific Rim Kaiju. We are using Axe Head. This is probably a really bad sizing. Minya should probably be like up to his knee, but yeah, I don't know if you want to have Minya absolutely annihilate Axe Head, because, you know, that's exactly what Minya does. He annihilates anything in his way because he's such an awesome kaiju. And if you can't tell I'm being sarcastic, you obviously have you've obviously been dropped on your head as a baby. Anyways, so yeah. Now for the final part of the review, history of the figure and pricing. This figure was originally released by Y-msf, and it was painted, and I think it was around $40 or $50, I think. And they also had this glow-in-the-dark one, and I'm not sure if there were any other repaints of this figure. I know Y-msf does a lot of clear repaints, although I'm not sure if they did any for Minya, so I would have to look into that, but yeah, and this one is obviously the cheaper of the two, and I paid about, I think I paid, yeah, $35 for it, and so, yeah, and for a rating, I'm gonna give this figure, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Why 9 out of 10? Because it's Minya, there's just not a whole lot to say. It's a fairly simple figure. Well, you know what, no, a 7 out of 10, just because it's such a simple figure. Like, it's a good figure, it really does look like Minya, but there's really not a whole lot to say about him, which is kind of why this has been a really short review. I think this is my shortest review ever, unless you count the individual reviews in 2 reviews ago. But yeah, that's it for this review. I don't know what to say. Maybe make this review longer, well, I got 2 more reviews for G-Fest figures after that, so yeah, look for that. And then after that, reviews obviously are going to be quite shortcoming, just because school and everything, so don't expect too much after I get the last 2 G-Fest reviews out. Like, obviously I got tons of figures, like, so, you know, I do still have plenty of figures to review. It's just I won't be able to review them quick enough. So that's it for this review. Bye.